Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Supatease video. And in today's video, I wanted to do a little bit of roundup in terms of news that has caught my attention with changes related to World of Warcraft. We've got big updates for a lot of new transmogs that are coming in, a lot of cool hunter pets as well that I didn't even know about that we're going to be taking a look at. And they've been making some quality of life improvements to the game, as well as some bug fixes that I think are really worth knowing about. And as always, if you want to stay up to date with news related to World of Warcraft, then make sure to smash that subscribe button. Your support is greatly appreciated. Now, obviously, there was a lot of controversy recently over this one big decision that they were going to be reducing the power of level 70 characters in dungeons. Now, as somebody who played the pre-release, I was fully aware of how powerful characters were that had basically any gear from level 70. I was only in PvP gear, and I wasn't even, one-shotting the mobs, but it was getting pretty close, and often in groups, I would be getting that. And the main problem with it is that it built this false sense of expectation in the leveling process. You'd be level 70 to 75, just breezing, one-shotting everything, not even doing your rotation for the most part in these dungeons. And then you'd hit like level 78, and then suddenly you'd hit a wall. These boss mechanics, like the first boss of the new Scarlet Halls dungeon, you can't just pull the boss with all of his lieutenants. You've got to kill all the lieutenants on the side and then pull the boss at that point. And it was really creating this weird dissonance of leveling because the scaling was so off at that point. Now, I have been told after this change has gone live that it didn't make a huge impact in terms of actual rate of XP of leveling. I don't think you're going to be, monstrously behind in terms of leveling process that had been pointed out before. Like maybe you're looking at an extra 30 minutes on your leveling time here, and that's like max with this, but it's a little bit more of a smooth curve, and the mobs at higher health or higher levels are remaining unchanged at that point. So I think that this was a necessary change. Now maybe it could have waited a week, let people use this for a week, but I swear it was building like bad habits for players in the dungeons to have it remain that it is the way that it was for the reasons that I've just explained. So I kind of think that it was a change that needed to happen. We could debate maybe as to whether or not the timing of it was that great, but I don't think it's really ultimately had that big of an impact on the game. I think it's just better for the game as a whole that they've got this scaling a little bit more under control. We've got bug fixes for Blood Death Knights, line of sight issues being corrected, Frost Death Knight getting some bug fixes as well with line of sight, evokers, able to access their spec and talent window apparently. If they weren't boosted before, they couldn't see that. Sentinel is now removed from player controlled units upon being crowd controlled. I think there's a bug right now with the Warlock hero talent tree. I want to say, I can't remember which hero talent tree it is, but there's like a certain ability where when you cast it, it like pulls people out of stealth regardless of their distance on the map. That's something that I would definitely like to be looked at, specifically for Warlock, especially when it comes to PvP, because it's a really big issue. Targeting issues being fixed for Mage, more bug fixes. We don't see any real class tuning, and I'm a bit curious as to the reasoning for this. If it's just they think it's in a solid spot and they don't want to like impact the race to world first. Usually that's like how the balance goes, but we haven't really seen any PvP specific changes anyway either that wouldn't affect that, and those usually come in on like a Tuesday or a Friday is when I'm typically expecting them. So because they weren't here on this update, then we'll have to wait and see if they come in on the Friday, but you better believe if they do come in on the Friday, we're going to be covering them on this channel. They fixed a lot of bug issues with Delves and with Bran. I remember there's like this XP exploit going on with this, so they're definitely going through and fixing all of the issues that are related to that, if that's content that you are interested in getting into. I think specifically for me, which stood out was that they've fixed epic battlegrounds. The epic battlegrounds were really badly tuned. Like you just couldn't kill the boss. You just get in there in Isle of Conquest, you jump up in the air, stomp down and one shot you, and there was nothing you could do. It was really frustrating. So it's really good that they fixed this. One thing that I would like them to fix is that on the mini map when you're in Dornegal, in the main city, it doesn't show the daily quest for getting sparks on the map, and it does for the other quests for PvE. I don't know why that is. Also, when you're in a city, you can't see PvP world quests on the map, even if you have war mode on. So, and that was a bug in Dragonflight as well, and I don't think it ever got corrected. I don't know why they've done that, why they hide the PvP quest. maybe it's a limitation with war mode or something like that. I'm not sure, but it definitely means you're missing out on rewards. Like I almost missed out on a reward in the Ashkahet zone because you have to like zoom into the Ashkahet, then zoom into the city to be able to see the world PvP quest while you're outside of the main city. So you might just think there's no PvP quests up and be like, oh, there's no PvP quests up, and then go about your day. So I'd really like those visuals to be corrected in that regard. They decided to take Deep Wind Dunk out because I think it was broken, and they've brought back Comp Stomp, and that's going to be great for anybody that's starting now. Comp Stomp is just you fight against NPCs in PvP. It's going to be a nice way of getting honor if you just dinged max level and you didn't get any already at this point. And they've also brought Mercenary Mode NPCs to Dornegal. So if you're experiencing long queue times for Battlegrounds on your faction, you can go to Sergeant Wilson or Nassar at the Contenders Gate in Dornegal, and you'll be able to talk to them, and they will convert you into the other faction, and you'll get a faster queue. I've been getting instant queues now with that, as opposed to like 8 to 10 minute queues as Alliance. So you definitely want to be taking advantage of that as much as you can. Now, something else that caught my attention was that there are new hunter pets, and I've been thinking about leveling my hunter, and I was like, what's going on with these ones? And these guys look kind of cool. You got like a lynx mount that's like heavily armored elite that looks really cool. We got the unarmored version of it with the feral sharp claw, another burly looking muscular lynx, and we also have wasps. I don't know why they call wasp when they say cinder bee in the name, but I guess I don't know. These are mounts as well. Some of these are the same cosmetics for mounts, so you can get a mount and a hunter pet that matches it. So I just thought that these things looked really cool and really rad. So I wanted to take a look at them here myself with you guys on this. We've got some snails. If you want to get a couple of Gary the Snail, if you're doing a SpongeBob transmog or something, you got some nice looking snail pets, and there are eels as well. So if you're going for more of an underwater aesthetic, you'll be able to get these like floating eels going after people. We got the docile cloud rook, so you can get the thunder griffins as a pet as well. So this is really cool. I think this is really cool that they introduced all of these. You can get a unicorn moose with mushrooms growing out of its head. I don't know whoever thought up that concept. That is a wild concept, but if you want it, it's there. You can get a unicorn moose with plague mushrooms growing out of its body. and it has a charge effect that will knock enemies back and apply a bleed to it. Oh my god. Okay, now we got the trading post as well. This is coming in. They're bringing back a lot of Plunderstorm rewards with some recolors, so you're able to get the golden crab from the Plunderstorm event now with the trading post, and you'll be able to get a golden Crossilisk mount. So anybody that's a mount collector, you definitely want to be staying in and subscribed for the next month to get these trading post rewards, so that you can add another mount onto your collection, get another notch, getting towards those big long-term goals. And if you wanted a yellow version of the Plunderstorm transmog set, you are now going to be able to get that. The same thing with the hat, a little bit of a yellow version of it. The beanie, the blue beanie. In Canada, we called them toques. I don't know if anybody else here is Canadian, but that's a toque, not a beanie. I'm just trying to, make sure that we all understand that. You can get a purple staff. Not really a big fan of this one. And then a purple, keg shield. Not really a big fan of the purple keg shield either. And then, of course, when you get like 12 trading posts in a row collected, you can work towards the Warden set. I already got this a while ago. I was kind of hoping that there would be another one or something like that on top of this, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But if you are working towards that, it's going to be great. You're also going to be able to freeze an item on the trading post. So if there's something you specifically want to get and you don't have enough to get it, you're going to be able to freeze it there for the next month to be able to get it when you get enough. So really nice bug fixes, quality of life improvements, scaling corrections that I don't think are going to have a huge impact on the overall leveling time. Really awesome new mounts and pets to be able to go after as well. So it's a very exciting time. World of Warcraft, I've really been enjoying my time. If you'd like to check me out live, my stream is linked in the description down below. But other than that, thank you very much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.